Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. Let's do an Erik ten Hag predicted 11 with transfers. I know it's potentially difficult, but I think you can figure out the players that he wants in certain positions, the players that he's got, and the likelihood of picking those. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. I think it's going to be really good fun. So in goal, I'm going to go with David De Gea. Boo-hoo if you want Henderson or a brand new goalkeeper. We've had this debate before. I did a video about it at the start of the week, in fact, that I think with De Gea, the drop-off from Mourinho's last full season and through Solskjaer has been ridiculous, and I think most of this is down to tactics. How you can say Maguire, Rashford, Bruno and a load of others will get a chance under Ten Hag with proper coaching. How will David De Gea not get that chance and perform better in a system that's more expansive? And ultimately, he either will or he won't, and this season I think he has to be given that opportunity. Right back, I've put Delot there. Look, I think we'd like a right back. Dumfries has been linked. Spence has been linked, but do I think United will get a right back? I'm not convinced at the moment, and we're predicting it as of right now. And I think Delot probably will start the season. And as I say, this is a predicted 11 under Erik ten Hag, including transfers. So there will be people who are benched and don't start, and we'll mention them as we go along. Varane surely starts for Manchester United if he's fit. I still believe he's one of the best centre-backs in the world, and he can definitely play in a team that wants to play expansive attacking football. Most of his games for Real Madrid would have been high possession games and high line games, and I think he can do that. Obviously there's injury concerns, but he's an elite centre back. He's better than Maguire, and I think he has to play. And look, I am going to throw Timber in there. I know people might not like that, but I do think with Timber you do get a player that is a player that Erik ten Hag really wants, and also he is a player that will be able to play that high line that Erik ten Hag really wants to play. So I would throw Timber into that position, and I think it would be logical that he would play him. I mean, this is one of the big things about him coming to Manchester United, that he's got to play. I don't know why you'd spend £35 million on a centre-back, or maybe £40 million on a centre-back who is quick, knows how to play a high line, which you want to do, and is expansive, and then put him on the bench to play, you know, Lindelof and Varane, or Maguire and Lindelof, or whatever. It wouldn't make any sense to me. Luke Shaw's a player that I think will have a renaissance season. Had a very bad season last year. I think he will start this season, and I think he will be our number one left back. But this is where I also would bring in a potential new signing in Malaysia of Feyenoord. I'm not convinced that we're going to get this deal done, but I do think it's a deal we're trying to do. If we can shift some other players out, it's just a matter of time as to whether we can do it. So I do think we'll bring in a left back, and I do think if we do bring in a full back, it's most likely to be Malaysia at the moment of Feyenoord. But I will actually go with Luke Shaw being the starting left back for his first 11. Then, look, let's not mess about. Frenkie de Jong into the team. Look, this is the player that Ten Hag wants. It's the deal that Manchester United are trying to do with Barcelona. This is the team he wants to build, player he wants to build his team around. I think it's very logical that we will bring in Frenkie de Jong to play in that position. And I think it's probably logical at the start of the season that we'll see Fred next to him. I think he's the most suitable player to play in a midfield too from what we currently have, mobility-wise, press-wise. I think Fred would work well with what we've got out of Frenkie de Jong. I say well, he's still a player that's a potential weakness, but I think if that's what we've got, that's what we've got. What I would like to see, and I think there needs to be more progression here, is Sangare coming in. I think we'd all like to see that, and maybe that can happen. We do want to bring another midfielder into the club. I'm not convinced we're going to go and get Frenkie de Jong and Neves or someone like that. So Sangare to me would be the dream. Of course, let's not forget there is a Donny van der Beek option there as well. McTominay's still going to be at the club, so I'm not discounting those. I'm just saying that to me, let me just give this a bit of a reset as well because it will look better. It hasn't reset. Great. Let's go there. Hello. Let's go back. Yeah, there we go. It resets it that way. So yeah, that's what I would like to see. I don't know whether that will happen. It's probably a little bit speculative. That's why I went with Fred first of all. I do believe that he will start the season playing. And I do think this guy could come in. I do think Eriksen is an option for Manchester United to come in there. I'm not going to predict that he would start in the first game, but I do think he's an option, and I think we need to mention that. I've mentioned Timber, De Jong, Sangare, Malaysia. That's 4 signings, isn't it? So Timber, Eriksen would be number 5. I do think he's an option there. But I think that Bruno Fernandes will ultimately be given that opportunity first of all. We're paying him big wages. We've invested a lot of money in him. And I think there'll be a belief. In fact, I know the conversations that Ten Hag had with Manchester United as part of his interview was that getting more out of Bruno Fernandes and Bruno Fernandes being a key player. I don't think for 1 minute in his first 11, Bruno Fernandes is going to be kicked out of that Manchester United side. I really just can't see it happening at all. Jadon Sancho, I think, will play off the left. And I think that the way that Erik Ten Hag plays, I think he will be happy to play Jadon Sancho off the left. It's the position that Jadon Sancho prefers. And I think Jadon Sancho will play off the left. Cristiano Ronaldo will obviously play through the middle. He's going to be a focal point of that team, no doubt about it. Yes, he won't play every week, but I think once a week he'll play, and he'll play in the big game. And Cristiano Ronaldo are the figurehead of that team for next season, obviously. We know we want to bring another striker in, but Cristiano Ronaldo remains one of the best strikers in the world, and he's not going anywhere. I think sometimes we think about that when we're thinking about this Manchester United side and how it's going to work. I think we almost forget that we've got one of the best strikers in the game, and what we're looking for is some support for him and somebody to hopefully take his role in years to come. So I think Cristiano Ronaldo will remain very, very important. And then on the right-hand side, I'm actually going to throw in another signing, and his name is Antony. And I think that to me completes a really nice looking Manchester United 11 with transfers. Obviously, you've still got Marcus Rashford at the club, Elanga. Doesn't mean we're going to get Antony. But if I just make that a little bit more uniform, then I like that. I do actually quite like that team as an 11. And look, I'll be stunned if that is his starting 11 for the first game of the season on August the 6th or whenever it is. But I think it's achievable. And I think that it's not a bad team to predict and take a look at. I mean, would you be happy with that team? I wanted to get it up quick, but that's the team I want. Look, De Gea, Dalot, Varane, Timber, Shaw, Sangare, De Jong, Bruno, Sancho, Ronaldo, Antony. I mean, I'm not going to say that team's good enough to win the league because we've never seen it play and we've not constructed it yet. But I do think that that's a strong side. It actually only contains 4 new signings: Antony, Sangare, De Jong, Timber. I did mention Malacia and Eriksen. That would be 6 signings, which I very much doubt we will get. I think Eriksen or Malacia, maybe we don't get them. But in relation to those signings, probably 35 million for Timber, maybe 65 million for De Jong, takes you to 100 million. We know Sangare's got a release clause of around 27 million, so that's 127 million. And then Antony for 50. So 177 million, which is achievable with the 125 million budget we've got, plus 50 we make in sales. So look, do I think we're going to get Sangare, Timber and De Jong and Antony? Probably not. But if we retained Martial or made a striker out of Rashford, then we could build a team like that. And I actually think that team is far more balanced than if you didn't get Antony and you bought Nunez, because who's going to play off the right-hand side? Nunez can play off the left, but you're chucking Sancho back to the right. I think that team in the season 1 has got more balance. Yes, it doesn't necessarily solve the number 9 position, but for one season, I think we'd be absolutely fine with Ronaldo, Rashford, and maybe Martial hanging around for another year. But Antony would solve a lot of problems off the left. De Jong and Sangare, supplemented by Van der Beek, Fred, and McTominay. Van der Beek can play where Bruno plays as well. You may not even need to go and get Christian Eriksen. You've got good strength in depth there. And obviously Timber added to the defence just gives us more options at the defence. So I'd be very happy with that team. There'd still be a lot of holes in it. It's season 1. We can't solve everything in season 1. But I would be very happy with that as a team. And I think it's very achievable as well. So I'm going to predict that as an 11. What I would say is, I'd probably, if you're asking me to take somebody out first, I'd probably take Sangare out. I think it will be probably Fred who starts. And then I'd probably take Antony out and say you'll probably start Rashford. So I think Sangare and Antony are probably the least likely signings. Timber and De Jong, maybe even Eriksen and Malacia are probably more likely than them. But that's my predicted 11. I think it's an achievable 11 with transfers as well. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Smash a like on the video if you like that team. I think it's fantastic. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Take care, smash a like on the video and give us your thoughts. Thanks for watching.